Imagine a city where gold was traded like grain. A place where scholars were more respected than kings. A city whose libraries held hundreds of thousands of handwritten books while much of Europe was still struggling through the Middle Ages. This wasn't a legend. It wasn't a myth. It was Timbuktu. Today, many people use the word Timbuktu to describe a place that is unimaginably far away. But few realize that this mysterious city was once one of the richest, smartest, and most influential places on earth. Its streets welcomed merchants from North Africa, Arabia, and beyond. Its universities attracted students from every corner of Africa. Its scholars wrote groundbreaking works on astronomy, mathematics, medicine, law, philosophy, and religion. Yet despite its incredible achievements, the true story of Timbuktu has largely been forgotten. How did this city rise from the edge of the Sahara Desert to become the intellectual heart of Africa? What treasures lay hidden inside its ancient libraries? And what caused one of history's greatest centers of learning to fade into obscurity? Join us as we uncover the untold story of ancient Timbuktu. Over 900 years ago, where the Sahara Desert met the Niger River, Tuareg nomads established a seasonal trading camp. According to tradition, an elderly woman named Buktu watched over the camp while the nomads traveled. People began referring to the place as Timbuktu, meaning the place of Buktu. Over time, the temporary camp transformed into a permanent settlement. Its location was perfect. Caravans traveling across the Sahara arrived carrying salt, horses, cloth, perfumes, and precious goods from North Africa. From the south came gold, ivory, cola nuts, and agricultural products. Timbuktu quickly became the crossroads of two worlds. The desert connected it to the Mediterranean. The Niger River connected it to West Africa. Every caravan that entered the city brought wealth, ideas, languages, and cultures. Before long, Timbuktu had become one of Africa's busiest commercial centers. West Africa possessed something the rest of the world desperately wanted. Gold. The mines of the ancient Mali Empire produced enormous quantities of it. Much of this gold passed through Timbuktu. Massive camel caravans crossed the desert carrying blocks of salt from the north. The salt was exchanged for gold, one of the most valuable resources of the medieval world. Some caravans stretched for miles. Thousands of camels transported goods across one of Earth's harshest landscapes. Each successful journey made merchants incredibly wealthy. Markets buzzed with activity. Languages from dozens of cultures filled the air. Traders negotiated prices while craftsmen displayed beautiful jewelry, leatherwork, and textiles. The city became famous for its prosperity. Travelers described markets overflowing with goods from distant lands. Timbuktu had become one of the world's greatest trading cities. In 1324, everything changed. The ruler of the Mali Empire, Mansa Musa, began an extraordinary pilgrimage to Mecca. His journey became one of history's greatest displays of wealth. He traveled with tens of thousands of attendants. Hundreds of camels carried enormous amounts of gold. Wherever he stopped, he gave away so much gold that local economies were affected for years. The world had never witnessed such unimaginable riches. As news spread across North Africa and Europe, curiosity about Mali, and especially Timbuktu, grew rapidly. Foreign scholars, merchants, architects, and explorers began making their way to the city. Mansa Musa invested heavily in Timbuktu. He commissioned magnificent mosques. He encouraged education. He invited scholars from across the Islamic world. Under his leadership, Timbuktu evolved from a wealthy trading center into one of humanity's greatest intellectual capitals. Timbuktu's greatest treasure was never its gold. It was its knowledge. The famous University of Sankore, together with the Jingareber and Sidi Yehya learning centers, attracted thousands of students. Education became a source of prestige. Children memorized sacred texts before advancing to mathematics, astronomy, grammar, law, philosophy, medicine, geography, and history. Teachers challenged students through debates and careful reasoning. Graduates became judges, diplomats, scientists, and respected scholars. Books became symbols of wealth. Many families treasured manuscripts more than gold. Copying books became an important profession. Skilled scribes carefully reproduced manuscripts by hand. Private libraries expanded across the city. Some families preserved collections containing thousands of books. The manuscripts covered subjects ranging from medicine and engineering to poetry and astronomy. Far from being isolated, Timbuktu actively participated in a global exchange of knowledge. Ideas flowed between Africa, North Africa, the Middle East, and beyond. The city proved that Africa possessed one of the world's richest intellectual traditions. Every morning, merchants opened colorful market stalls. Children hurried toward their teachers. Camel caravans entered the city gates after exhausting desert journeys. Mosques echoed with prayer. Scholars gathered beneath shaded courtyards discussing science, theology, and philosophy. Women played important roles in trade and family life. Artisans produced leather goods, jewelry, pottery, and fine textiles. Visitors encountered people speaking many languages. Arabic served as the language of scholarship. Local African languages flourished alongside it. The city's architecture reflected its environment. Buildings were constructed from sun-dried mud bricks that kept interiors cool despite the scorching desert heat. Many of these remarkable structures still stand today. Life in Timbuktu blended commerce, faith, education, and cultural diversity into one thriving society. No great empire lasts forever. By the late 1500s, the Mali Empire had weakened. The Songhai Empire rose to dominate the region. Then, in 1591, Moroccan forces invaded. Armed with firearms, they defeated the Songhai army. Many of Timbuktu's greatest scholars were arrested, exiled, or killed. Libraries suffered neglect. Trade routes shifted toward the Atlantic coast as European maritime trade expanded. The once busy camel caravans became fewer. Political instability slowly drained the city's wealth. Although Timbuktu remained inhabited, its golden age had ended. The world's greatest center of African scholarship faded from international attention. For centuries, people believed Timbuktu's greatness had disappeared forever. But hidden inside homes, mosques, and family libraries, hundreds of thousands of ancient manuscripts survived. These priceless documents reveal an Africa filled with scientists, philosophers, doctors, mathematicians, poets, historians, and legal scholars. They challenge outdated myths that Africa lacked centers of higher learning before colonialism. Today, historians continue preserving these remarkable manuscripts. Their pages remind us that knowledge has always flourished across Africa. The story of Timbuktu is not simply the story of one city. It is the story of human curiosity, of learning, of resilience, and of a civilization whose achievements deserve to be remembered by the entire world. The next time someone uses the word Timbuktu to describe a place at the end of the earth, remember this. It was once one of the brightest lights of human civilization. A city where books were treasures, where knowledge was power, and where Africa helped shape the intellectual history of the world. If you enjoyed this journey into Africa's hidden past, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Untold African History, and turn on notifications for more incredible stories that history almost forgot. Until next time, keep exploring the untold stories that changed our world.